I'm standing on the right spot. Okay. And everybody can hear me. Okay. Great. And now I don't see the presentation. And you neither. So my name is Luca. I'm working for the Hungarian National Agency in the field of the youth. And I joined the National Agency in 2016. It was a very interesting time to join because that's where the first LTA-s, or in the youth field they were first called strategic partnerships, has been started. So I started the same time that they started. And I will talk about how we are managing the partner roles in these strategic partnerships, but I call them LTA-s just so we are on the same page. Okay.
Don't let the technique just bother you.
Well, but it means that the ones who are joining online also don't see the presentation. Okay, so we need to wait, sorry. Yes. Good. Thank you. So when preparing the presentation, the Salto colleagues asked me to give you answers to these questions, that how the partner LTAs can adapt to the predefined strategy, what roles can the NA take, what support is needed from the coordinator, what is considered to be good communication, and how to find synergies, as this is the topic of the week for now, for you. And also I will talk about how to manage the human capacity and time, because that's something we really lack, and I think we share this experience. And yes, they keep saying that it's a good practice. I would say it's our practice, but I really hope that some things from my presentation will be adaptable for your realities. So, first about the strategy, and what I find interesting in the question is that they ask me how can you adapt to a predefined strategy, and I will go back in time to 2016, and that's where the first strategic partnership started in the field of the youth, and it was the need that was coming from the heads of the NAs, that it's very good that we are organizing lots of TCA activities, but they are always one activity, we are very happy about it, they happen, and we go to the next activity. So how do we know what do we get out of it? And that's why they realize that we are organizing lots of activities on the same topic, on the same priority. For example, about inclusion. And there is a lot of work with it, finding the target group, because inclusive target groups are really hard to find, to involve. And then we organize the activity, and suddenly, okay, that's finished, and we go to the next one. So we need to start over again. But if you work strategically, then if you find already the target group, you can keep working with them, and that allows us to achieve more. So basically that's how the first strategic partnerships emerged, and I just drafted this process about how we always plan our work plan, and that can be also applied on the long term, but we also do this every year. And we also did this for the 7-year work plan, where some of the new LTAs started also in the field of youth. So how can you adapt to a predefined strategy? Is that all of the national agencies joining an LTA have a strategy, and then I would imagine that they come together and decide together about the strategy of the LTA. And about the roles. In the field of use, it's not necessary that all the partner NAs are doing everything that the LTA is doing, so that they can also choose between different levels of involvement. Some national agencies are just contributing financially to the LTA, to the coordination costs, and to the hosting expenses, and they are sending participants. And when it's predefined, then it's really good because no one expects them to do more, because they already said that this is how much we can commit and don't expect more. But of course, national agencies can do more, like hosting an international event. And but for us, what makes a cooperation strategy is that we really build something also on the national level. So we are carrying out national activities that support the implementation of the LTA also on the international level. And maybe the most higher level of involvement, other than coordinating the LTA, is being members of the steering group. And it's also something that not all the LTAs have, but some of the LTAs have a so-called steering group that only a few national agencies are member of. And they are the ones who are deciding on a strategic level about the future of the LTA, and the rest of the partners are adapting to this strategy. And how to get, what kind of support do we need as partners to be good partners in an LTA? What is helpful for us before submitting the work plan is that we get always a draft timeline, what kind of activities should we expect in the next period, also the budget estimation, and I also wrote here work packages. Work packages are also related to the levels of involvement, because in some of the LTAs there are different objectives, and maybe it's not necessary that all the national agencies are working on each and every objective. So in some of the LTAs we are just part of one so-called work package, or we can call them strengths, and it's also fine if it's agreed between the partners which of the national agencies are working on which of the objectives. And something that makes it easy to justify why are we partners in this LTA, or why are they existing, is the monitoring. That it's very good to say that, okay, by being partners in this LTA, we have already achieved this, and it's a monitoring system is very helpful if the coordinator provides that. And yes, something very important is the partner meetings, so we can discuss all about these issues. And the project management platform, which can be maybe the platform you already have. And something else that is also very helpful in justifying why are we doing this is the visibility that the coordinator provides, also for the external stakeholders, but also for the heads of NAs. Communication. Well, I think we all have been feeling like this at some point. And to try to reduce that, there are some things that I have collected that are working well in our partnerships. Is the regular online meetings, but online meeting with 18 participants might not be so efficient. So in our partnerships, these meetings are organized maybe based on the objectives, or the work packages, or the strengths. And something which is, I know, quite a challenge, but it's the consistent use of one platform, of the project management platform. because that really helps to reduce the email flow. And I was myself also very reluctant to use a project management platform that I didn't know before, and it was not very user-friendly at first, but when I realized that, okay, how many emails would it have been if it didn't happen on the platform, then I really understood the value of it. And also, if it's not possible to arrange something outside the platform, that is the consistency that helps. And now, after the COVID, something very, very important is the in-person meetings like this, where you can really meet and discuss, and it's so much quicker than sending emails. So, about synergies within the same national agency, I show you the peak view of our internal platform. It's my favorite one on Trello, and we don't only have this online platform, but we also have regular meetings between the colleagues who are involved in the different LTA-s, so that we can share what's going on. And also, this is where the synergies can really happen, like, oh, you are doing this in that LTA, it's very similar to what we need to do. Okay, let's cooperate. And for example, this is how we organized mapping research, that we realized that we are at the phase in each snack, yes, we are calling LTA snack, this is the strategic and cooperation, because they used to really to call it not LTA, sorry. So we realized that in each of the snacks we are at the phase where we need to do some mapping. And it was really good, because if we didn't discuss it, everybody would have sent out different questionnaires to the very similar target group, and our beneficiaries would have got 7 different questionnaires. So instead of that, we just created one questionnaire, and it was a very good example of the synergy we could create. And yeah, the most burning issue is how to manage the human capacity. In our practice, in each LTA, there is 1 or 2 project officers that is responsible for the partnership, and also 1 TCA officer. So with this, we really can keep an eye on if we keep to the TCA budget rules and stuff like that, so no need to project officers to go very deep in the NA guide, but also it reduces the TCA officers' workflow, that they don't need to get engaged or very deeply in each and every LTA that we are involved in. And also we organize some common national activities, because some of the LTAs have similar target groups or similar objectives, and on a national level we can combine these activities. And also we don't always need to reinvent the wheel when we already have a good practice from one of the LTAs that we can adapt to another one. And something always helpful is the involvement of external experts, because that's affordable for the TCA budget, it's also compliant with the rules, and it also has to reduce the workflow. And I think that's all for now. I thought questions were through Menti, but it's more intimate, so you can just ask the questions now. And thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Luca.